3 Weather Lab. Here's Daniel's True View forecast.
Alrighty, everyone. Obviously, a lot going on across the Gulf Coast, so let's get right to it, and we'll start with a look at the satellite and radar picture. To the east, you can see Gordon's swirling rain bands making their way through northwestern Florida. To our west, you can see the remnants of that inverted trough in Dallas and Texas all getting the rainfall right now, but obviously the biggest headline maker has been Tropical Storm Gordon. As of the 4 o'clock advisory, held as a tropical storm, a very strong tropical storm at that. Winds have been sustained right about 70 miles an hour. Conditions have been deteriorating from about Fort Walton Beach, Destin area, all the way through, and now it looks like it's getting on into the Mobile Bay area. Again, the outer rain bands have been pushing through. Some of the pictures starting to come in, just a little bit of wet and windy weather. I think the worst of it, though, is going to be out through Mississippi here later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. Back closer to home, we actually haven't seen much from this storm at all, and I don't think that we're going to get a whole lot from this storm at all. We've had a couple isolated showers that have been pushing through. Those likely not going to continue all that much longer. I think once the sun goes down, they're really going to lose some steam. Now, it will stay steamy tonight. We got a lot of moisture in place across the area. Showers going to pop up tomorrow, but nothing that is related to Gordon. Now, there are still some warnings in Louisiana, and for good reason. The New Orleans metro area is still going to be under a tropical storm warning. So will Lake Pontchartrain, as well as parts of the North Shore, starting at about Tangipahoa Parish eastwards into parts of Mississippi. And I think that getting into early tomorrow morning, 6, 7 o'clock, you could see some tropical storm force winds just east of Tangipahoa. New Orleans, obviously close enough that you want to make sure that you account for the possibility of a westward shift, even if it is slight. And then from about Mobile Bay, the Florida-Alabama border, all the way through to the mouth of the Pearl River, that is under a hurricane warning. Again, right now, Gordon's still right around that 70-mile-an-hour range, but close enough to hurricane strength that this thing can strengthen quickly. You could see 75-mile-an-hour winds and then deteriorate quickly. That's the nature of some of these smaller storms, and looks like it's starting to shear up a little bit on the south side of that, but still plenty of wet weather and obviously wind making its way across parts of Florida and now Alabama. Track still looking like it's going to make its way up through Mississippi. Have not seen a lot of change in the track here over the last couple of days. Again, everything stays out towards our east. It will make landfall sometime late tonight. It should wash out sometime tomorrow afternoon, but it will still bring a lot of rainfall up through central Mississippi on into eastern Arkansas, and that is where you're going to see the biggest flood threat. I think 4 to 6 inches worth of rainfall through those areas, and then you could see some spikes of about 8 to 12 inches worth. It's a smaller storm and everything is very compact. You can see that this area here is where you're going to get the tropical storm force winds, really from about Mobile Bay all the way through towards the Pearl River area. If you do get hurricane force winds, it'll be right next to Pascagoula, right in the center, and it's not going to stretch out all that much. But again, it does look like it clips into northeastern parts of Louisiana, again east of Tangipahoa Parish, but close enough that the warning should stay up for those areas. And I agree with the warning down through the New Orleans metro as well as the shoreline there as well. And again, that looks like it will probably hold on through into tomorrow. For us, though, we may not even see much of a breeze from this storm, but because the winds are wrapping around the way they do, it might actually drag some drier air in place. We get a northerly breeze at points tomorrow, and we don't have a whole lot of activity. A lot of moisture still, so some isolated showers going to be possible, maybe a 30% chance for a little bit of that rainfall late in the afternoon and evening. Now, as that storm does work its way northwards, getting into Thursday, that's when it's going to drag some of that moisture in, and we could see some extended showers on Thursday. I think Thursday probably going to be a bit of a wet day, nothing that will cause flooding. And again, you'll need the umbrella as you get into Thursday. Taking a longer look at things, this is how it's going to shape up. Gordon will already start losing some of its structure by the time you get into Wednesday early morning. As it drifts slowly westwards, then that's when it pulls that Gulf moisture in place. So tomorrow, as that wind wraps around, we don't get a whole lot of activity tomorrow at all. And then for us, it's going to take a little while Thursday to get those showers going. And it could rain through the majority of the day on Thursday. I think it'll be a little bit worse down over towards the east. Friday, widely scattered showers popping up again. Then we start to get into that 30-40% range day in, day out, really starting on Friday and going through into the weekend. It should be fairly quiet. 73 for your overnight low tonight. It's pretty steamy tonight. We've got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so it is going to stay pretty humid, and it will be a thick atmosphere tomorrow. 90 degrees for your your high, but the heat index is going to be pushing 100. Enough moisture that will keep a 30% chance of rain going, although I do think we see more sunshine than cloud cover. Thursday will be a wet day, 40 to 50% rain chances on Friday through the weekend. And then by the time we get into next week, we kind of settle back down into that partly sunny skies range, 40% rain chances through next week. There are one storm, possible 2 storms in the Atlantic right now. Florence should stay in the Atlantic, the other one right behind it. Probably the next 5 days or so we will see it go, and then we will watch what that does, but that looks already like it's curving up behind Florence as well. So busy time of year, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary.
All right, but Gordon, get out of here. That's all.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Daniel. Still